Greenleaf Printing and Designs has stupendous signage, printed and embroidered apparel, and promotional products for you. They're at 5526 Burkhart Road in Dayton and on the web at greenleafprinting.com.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Wine. I'm the property manager of the Cannery, and I came here with Jerry Stannard, who represents K-12 Gallery.
Just
and
address?
Pardon me?
Address?
500 East 3rd Street, apartment 513, Dayton, Ohio, 45402. The issue that we are coming here to discuss today is with regard to parking. And I represent the Cannery Lofts. I have been associated with the Cannery Lofts for about 2 years. As I'm sure you know, we feature 156 loft-style apartments and 40,000 square feet of retail space. I wanted to thank you for an opportunity to allow me to speak today, as I have had concerns brought to me from retailers with regard to parking. You'll see there are some items that I included for your review as well. In the time that I have been with the Cannery, we have seen and had an opportunity to cultivate a significant increase in the number of downtown residents. In the time I've been there, our occupancy has increased from 72% to 100% with a reservation list. We've also seen an increase in the number of retailers there as well, which has brought an exciting growth to the city of Dayton. However, we are faced with an issue at the Cannery with regard to parking. It is a common objection, parking there in the area, and now we are also having an ancillary issue with regard to the current adjustment that has occurred with the parking spaces that are out front of the Cannery. In the past, there were parallel spaces, and those spaces have been adjusted to allow additional parking spaces, and we do welcome that adjustment for additional parking. However, there have been some issues with regard to parking enforcement, with regard to safety that I would like to bring to your attention today. As folks are driving into those parking spaces, I see a safety issue. The parking spaces there require that individuals back into those spaces while they are actively driving down a street in a thoroughfare. So they are stopping in traffic and reversing into those spaces. And doing so, you can see traffic being stopped from time to time. You can see guests quickly backing up into those spaces. You can see individuals opening their car doors to back into those spaces, as well as to be properly in the spaces within the lines without their curb over the back of the space. So my question is basically what we can do to help the situation. I see the safety issue. I see residents who are upset because they have a difficult time parking there, and also the enforcement. We've had a number of complaints from retailers about a general unfriendly, fashion, discourteous, uncommunicative parking enforcers who are issuing tickets prior to meters being expired, who are entering retail establishments looking for guests and seeking them out while they're at a salon. And basically, I'm looking to see what kind of a resolution that we could come to that. I've suggested some, and I have some comments there as well.
Oh, can you stay for a minute? I just want to ask a couple more questions. Is that okay, Mr. Gray?
Yes, ma'am.
So I really appreciate you coming forward with this information. I traveled the Cannery a lot and have asked some of the businesses how you felt about the back end parking. And, I think it was early on and people weren't really sure how they thought about it to begin with. And so are you advocating as the Cannery and the group first to go back to parallel parking?
No, I don't believe that would necessarily be a solution. However, I think the current situation with regard to the signage is very difficult. I don't believe that there's significant signage if the decision is to keep the parking in a back-end situation. There's only like one sign per 7 or 8 parking.
So you're saying, I didn't mean to cut you off, so you're saying, the reason why we do the back-end parking, and I can speak on authority of this as a bad parker. So I just want to be clear that when you're in that, it's East 3rd Street, so it's pretty busy. So to have the car there, you're in visible sight. So people coming around have to see you. Whereas if you were just pulling in like some of the other ones, like for example in Far Hills and Oakwood that has a separate lane,
sure.
You can't. I mean, I think I have had an accident there. When you pull back, you can't really see. So the back end is for visibility. It's not really comfortable. I hear you, because getting in the lines is also difficult. I can speak
sure.
to that. But at least there's visibility. It's the whole idea of being visible on the streets.
Right.
Okay, so I just want, but I want to be helpful to I think we all want to be helpful to the cannery. Is it that we still want to try the back end, and because we can't do the front end because of East 3rd being such a busy street. So I think we all understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure of that. And then, do we want to have more signage then? Is that the issue, where the meters are located? Because the other problem, I think, is people don't know which meter goes to which parking spot. Is that an issue?
Yes, that is as well.
Okay,
yes.
So we kind of need to identify that and then have more signage.
Jerry Stannard from K-12 has a proposal. I didn't know that I was first, so I apologize for that. And she has some suggestions of perhaps identifying the curbs a little bit better, perhaps with some color, perhaps adding something to the end of the parking space. And I'm not sure exactly what her recommendation is to make it so that folks can notice when they're approaching that area, because often people are pulling into those parking spaces so quickly that they pull over the curb, and then they're receiving a ticket for that. But it's very difficult for them to view how far they are over the curb. So I think if there were some better markings, because I can appreciate the need for back-end parking for those spaces.
Sure.
So I guess whatever suggestion that she presents, what is ultimately decided, I support that. But I do believe that some adjustment needs to be made to that.
That's great. Thanks for coming forward. And I appreciate your comments, especially from the Square One patrons, about some of the issues with the parking meter enforcement issues and so on.
Thank you, leadership, for listening. I appreciate it.
And